Retro Future. I've already watched through this, and so I'm just gonna go over some basic stuff. I want to bring up is the way you buy on second round. So the way the meta works nowadays, at least the common meta, is that on second round, if you lose pistol round, you should be buying head armor and Tech 9. Every single time, pretty much. If you lose again, then you full save third round, buy guns fourth round. And you'll pretty much have enough for like a full buy. You buy to P250, which is still not bad, but you didn't buy head armor, and against CTs with USPs and stuff, you definitely want head armor. Now, if you were on CT side and you knew they were all gonna have AKs, doesn't matter much because it's gonna rip your head off anyways. But you want to have head armor for this round. So yeah, when this got smoked off, your teammates with a bomb were already pushing into B site. You got one guy back here, and another one just died. So you got 3 teammates pushing into B site, one watching flank, and when the smoke went off, you just kind of stood around here. In that situation, you just gotta rush through smoke. I know it's scary, but hiding behind the smoke's not gonna do you any good. If you hide behind the smoke just so you don't die, I mean, it's not gonna make any difference as if you died running through the smoke, or if you just stayed here and lived. It's you need to be there with your team to impact the round. You guys don't end up winning that one. Now again, you guys buy here, not what is suggested. I know, exciting getting a bomb plant so you can buy guns, but generally if you're playing with your team, you need to be saving this round, unless you guys can all full buy. This part, see, you're kind of hovering around because you're not really sure what to do. I'm assuming the idea here, I don't know how strategy, like intense Golden Nova Master is, but I'm assuming the idea was push cat when your team pushed long with bomb, which is good, but you're just kind of hovering around, maybe waiting for these guys to get in. But indecisiveness will be the death of you in your rank. You need to figure out what you want to do. When you're in these types of situations where you're not sure what to do, if maybe the communication was off, you need to be thinking, what am I trying to get done? How can I do that? Or what can I do to benefit the team right now? If you're waiting for these guys to push out, hovering like this isn't helping the team much. Maybe a shoulder peek. Just like help it. Or you could go here and help your friend get control of CT because there's only 2 left. Not much from hovering around is being done here. If anything, like, you can tell your team, go ahead and run through, because this guy is gonna see this guy eventually, like, within 2 seconds. And I mean, you could have just rushed out and seen that guy and been like, all right, he's gonna shoot at me. You guys get him while he's shooting at me. Basically, you just bait him out. So anything but just kind of waiting around. That would impact you, like, positively impact the round at least. And then this round ends up being pretty straightforward. You pick out the scout, and a point I wanted to make is, so you go, first off, yeah, AFK for a little bit. So the point I wanted to make is, when you're watching down mid on Dust 2, first off, you want to get there immediately so you can count the cross, see how many people are crossing over, and tell your team 1, 2 people crossed, 3 people crossed, 4 people crossed, they all cross. But secondly, you shouldn't be sitting here for more than like 10 to 15 seconds. After that, there's really no point in being there. All you're here is to count the cross, maybe get a hit on somebody crossing, and see if there's anybody going lower. After that, you need to be with your team, and like after this, eventually someone comes flanking and you get a kill on them. No, someone comes mid and you get a headshot on them, and then someone comes flanking and you get a headshot on them. And those were really nice shots. They were really good accuracy. You did an awesome job there. Problem is, this is going on to a topic of playing for frags and playing for the round. Now, those are two awesome shots, the one that you get here and the one you get here. They were headshots with a scout and they were awesome. But if after those 15 seconds, because these guys came around the 30 like second to 40-second mark, instead of, if you had just left in that 15-second like margin, you came with your team, because obviously you have good aim, you got 2 headshots on these guys, you could have came in, opened up the site by picking somebody off, and then now you have 4 people in B site. You can sit here with your scout, look window or tunnels, right? And you have bomb down, 4 people in the site, and you're set up to get any to defend the bomb with your scout. That is so much more impactful. Getting 1 frag is so much more impactful, or just even being here with the team and being able to set up here is so much more impactful than getting these 2 lurker kills, right? Because let's say you stay here for those lurker kills, you die, then now these people are just going to lurk in, and your teammate might not even be on site. You go with your team, you get into site, maybe you die getting on the site, but if you die, they can get a trade kill, right? Or someone else dies and you get the trade kill, and then you're on site and you're playing retake, or your team's playing retake. So you need to be leaving here after around 15 seconds. You got some good kills, but the kills that you made ultimately weren't impactful for the round. Yes, they were 2 kills and they ended the round quicker because you got them, but you're also risking the fact that you might just die with no one being able to trade kill for you. And even when you got those 2 kills, like so much could have gone wrong. Like your team could have just ended up dying in tunnels, and then there's nothing you can do because you only have a scout. So great shots. Like, let's watch these shots. They were good shots. Like, they were pretty dope shots. Watch. This guy's gonna come mid, right in the fucking head, and this guy's gonna flank around. And then this one's cool because you take your time instead of just clicking onto him. You realize that you're missing these shots, so you take a breath, and bow. Great shot. Awesome. Yeah, you pick up the op, and here's another point that I want to make. You do get better at leaving after 15 seconds of holding the mid, so that's good. But, so when you're holding down here, maybe we're just counting across. But when you're holding down middle, instead of peeking through that little tiny crack, go back. Alright. Instead of getting your op and immediately peeking through this crack and trying to get a kill there while people are crossing, you can look at that for counting the cross, but ultimately that's not where you want to be aiming, because the chances of you having the reaction time and killing somebody crossing is pretty slim. What you want to do is practice, alright, I can't really show you on the screen, so I'm going to circle it right around here on the door. Do you see that? Like that area? Right around that area on the door. You want to be aiming there, and then shooting when you think someone's going to be around there when they cross. Because, honestly, it seems like it's going to be hard to wallbang somebody because you can't see them, but I can hit that shot 6 to 7 times out of 10. I do it all the time in casual games when I'm warming up. It is very, very easy once you know where to shoot and once you know how to predict their speed. So instead of going for that pick and mid, which is very hard to do, try and hit them through the wall. Maybe sometimes you'll hit a headshot and it's going to be a nasty montage clip, or you're just going to leg them, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on them. They're going to start playing more passively because they only have 20 HP, right? And then your team's going to have an easier time taking a site when they run into a dude with like 10 to 20 HP. So eventually what happens, see what you're doing right now is, because you're in the moment and because you got that sick shot, you're just kind of like running back and forth and like looking for that kill. and it's kind of what I call the Kenny S syndrome. So many people watch Kenny S plays that they try and go for those 6 shots where you just scope in real quick and get that kill. But I mean, that's for Kenny S to do, right? Not for you. You want to be winning games. So instead of being running back and forth and missing the shots like you did right there, just sit here and then hold that corner. You're obviously a good sniper. You have good accuracy. If this guy walks into your crosshair, I'm sure 8 out of 10 times you're gonna hit him, and then that's a free kill, right? You don't need to be running back and forth. You aren't getting paid for having sick montage clips and views on YouTube, so don't worry about getting those shots, dude. It's not this one. Oh, also wanted to say, you have 2500, and you don't have head armor. Always buy head armor, especially as T-side, because counter-terrorists, they have M4s. It takes 2 shots to the head to kill you with an M4 if you're wearing a helmet, 1 shot if you're not wearing a helmet. So really important to have a helmet as a terrorist. I guess, yeah, you kind of are. Ooh. Alright, so that's what I wanted to talk about. One of the problems a lot of lower rank people have, and even I see people do this at DMG, it's a big problem. When you're throwing grenades, you should either be throwing them from cover over a box or banking them off of a wall. Because when you pulled out the grenade, you were absolutely 100% exposed and vulnerable, and you couldn't do anything to stop that guy from killing you. I mean, you have 1 HP. You could have easily died right there. So you need to be using grenades from safe cover. You have 4 teammates pushing cat. And you, being the smart player you are, say, I should apply pressure long. Because when you're pressuring long with an op and there's 4 people pushing cat, you can get some work done. And so that's what the plan is. At least I hope that's what you're thinking, because it's a good idea. Now, the problem arises when you just don't, when you peek like a fool. Alright. Let's back this up just a little bit. Alright.
Counter-terrorists win. I'm throwing flashbang.
Alright.
Grenade.
So let's assess the situation. So, you had 4 people go cat, you're pushing long. Alright. I don't know if you've watched this video, but there's a video by Dren. He's an NA professional player who was one of the best oppers in Source, I believe. He's now the in-game caller and opper for Team Liquid. He has this video about peeking, and he teaches you how to peek angles one at a time. What happened was, you came out of here, you checked some corners, like these, but you just strafed out wide, and you did not give a fuck. Like, you had an op, and you were just like, fuck it, dude, I'll quickscope somebody, I don't care. But really, you need to be taking it slow. You need to be checking that angle. You need to be checking this angle. You need to be checking this angle. There's so many angles to worry about, and you have to take it slow. And even worse is you had smoke grenade and a flash grenade, and you didn't use either of them. When you're clearing out an area, smoke, flash, and an HE are so good. And the molly, like all the grenades except for decoy, are so good for clearing out an area. Just remember to utilize them. Like, you're not just wasting your money on things to have when you cycle through your equipment. You should be using them because they're so effective. So go watch that video. Adren's peeking advice, I think is what it's called. It's really good. It'll help your game phenomenally, because you just kind of wide peeked out here and then just got rocked by this guy. So yeah, not good. I didn't really need to watch the rest of it, because all you want to know is how to improve, and this is the advice I give to everybody who's trying to improve and trying to rank up. There's this thing and that Dazed talks about when he talks about creating a team. If you don't know who Dazed is, he's a former or ex, I don't know, professional player for Counter-Strike, and he talks about when putting together a team, you need just getting the MG. I promise you, if you work on your win conditions, you can get there so quickly. So You already have some good aims. You've defined yourself already kind of as a sniper. I just say take your time and learn how to play that role effectively. Because you're obviously good at aiming with the op and the scout. Now just learn how to take that aim and apply it successfully.